Hi guys, Rockbig46 here and welcome to the race results and analysis for yesterday's MotoGP race at Qatar. MotoGP is back and we had quite an interesting race. We had a really good Moto3 race which went right down to the wire. A really bizarre Moto2 race where race direction was being really inconsistent with their penalties. And then we had MotoGP. It was Jorge Lorenzo who was on pole. It would have been Marc Marquez, but he actually went through the checkered flag and then set the fastest lap. So obviously that didn't count. But before the race, before we even usually start talking about contract time, Valentino Rossi has extended his contract with Yamaha for 2 more years. Bradley Smith, there was loads of rumours going around that Tech 3 had already said to Bradley that he's not going to be in the team next year, regardless of what he does this year, which is unfair, but I wasn't expecting him to be in Tech 3 next year, to be honest. He has, however, landed himself a factory ride, albeit with a KTM squad with their new bike coming back next year. So he's got a 2-year deal with KTM. Danilo Petrucci not racing. He had to have an operation on his broken hand again. He did go out in FP1 but didn't do many laps and couldn't race. So we had 20 riders. Off the line it was Jorge Lorenzo who took the lead off his pole position and went into the first corner in the lead, closely followed by Andrea Iannone on the Ducati and Dani Pedrosa. Marquez dropped back a bit and then so did Pedrosa as they went a bit wide. Through came Andrea Dovizioso and Valentino Rossi as well. So you had Lorenzo first, Iannone second, Dovi third and Rossi fourth. Everyone was a bit worried that Lorenzo was going to do escape and act straight away, but the new tyres not actually allowing that to happen. And come the straight, not only did Andrea Iannone get past because that new Ducati is like more than 10 miles an hour quicker than anything else down the straight. So Iannone got past into the lead, as did Andrea Dovizioso as well. And Lorenzo went from first to third in a blink of an eye. And he had his teammate Rossi just behind him. A few laps in, and Marquez had got ahead of Rossi, and he was on the back of the group. Iannone and Dovizioso had a little battle between themselves. Iannone pretty much barging his teammate Dovizioso out the way on one corner, but Dovizioso repaid him the favour a few corners later. And then disaster for Iannone as he lost the front. He did touch a white line on the inside of a corner, which did mean that the front just went, and down he went. So Dovi was in the lead, Lorenzo was second, Marquez was third, and Rossi was fourth. Maverick Vinales, well, he went backwards off the line. He actually qualified in third place, but the Suzukis, they have got more power, but they haven't gained anything for acceleration. So off the line, as we saw last year, he just got completely mugged and went back down to 7th place. And he was battling with Dani Pedrosa for the whole race. Yoni Hernandez, he had a crash as well on his Aspar Ducati. Cal Crutchlow did as well, a lap later than Iannone. He crashed his LCR Honda. Loris Baz also had a crash, and so did Stefan Bradl. So 5 non-finishers. But at the front, Lorenzo started battling with Dovizioso, got in the lead, and then obviously with the power of the Ducati, Dovizioso managed to get past him down the start-finish straight. But then Lorenzo managed to get ahead and put some time in between himself and Dovizioso through the corners, just enough so that Dovizioso couldn't get past him down the start-finish straight. It wasn't a massive gap, it was about 0.6 of a second, but it was just enough that by the end of the start-finish straight, Dovizioso was back on him, but not able to get past him down the straight. Rossi, as I said, he had a bit of a strange race. 4th place throughout the whole race, and it looked like he was dropping back. He was about 0.5 behind Marquez at one point. And then he stuck the fastest lap of the race in. But it looked like he didn't really make much time up. And on one of the laps, he went half a second quicker than Marquez. But it still didn't look like the gap had come down at all. He did go wide a couple of times, and Marquez has gone wide a lot as well, struggling with his Honda. Lorenzo eventually had a pretty big gap over Dovizioso, and Marquez caught up to Dovizioso and started battling with him for second place. And Rossi was slowly closing. Marquez got into second place and actually started to put a bit of distance between himself and Dovi and Rossi. But the penultimate lap, coming onto the start-finish straight, Marquez must have had about a 0.6 of a second lead over Dovi. But by the halfway down the straight, you had Dovi and Rossi both with Marquez, so he must have made a mistake. Dovi got in front of him on the brakes, and Rossi was really close to Marquez. And it was a battle that Marquez obviously didn't want to lose. He was battling with Dovi throughout the whole of the last lap and went for a quite desperate outbraking manoeuvre on the final corner. Obviously, final corner wanted to have a go. Had a lunge, went wide, Dovi cut back and got obviously better drive out the corner, and he beat Marquez to the line. Lorenzo won, Dovi got second, and Marquez just got third. And Rossi was a tenth behind Marquez as he gained up quite a bit of ground when Marquez went wide into the final corner. Fifth place, it was Danny Pedrosa. Had quite a lonely ride. As I said, he did battle with Viñales for a while, but then he put a bit of a gap into Viñales and he couldn't catch the other guys. So he had a lonely fifth place. Viñales came home in sixth place. Pol Espargaro and Bradley Smith, they had a battle. Bradley moving his way up the pack and caught his teammate, but just missed out on seventh place by not even a tenth. It was like half a tenth that Bradley missed out on. So it's really close between those two, but Pol did get seventh, Bradley Smith eighth. Hector Barbera and the Vintage Ducati put an impressive race together. He got ninth place. Scott Redding struggled a bit at the beginning, but eventually started going forward. He was 10th. Alicia Spargo on the Suzuki was 11th. Eugene Lavity, a good race from him, was 12th. Alvaro Bautista on the new Aprilia, he was 13th. Jack Miller 14th, and his teammate Tito Rabat was 15th. So that was the race, guys. It was a bit weird to watching the race to begin with, but once the tyres got up to temperature, then the guys just kept going quicker and quicker and quicker. Lorenzo eventually done the fastest lap of the race on the penultimate lap. He did a 1:54.9. But yeah, all the times were pretty close. I mean, Rossi, he wasn't a lot slower throughout a lot of the laps. It was only like a tenth or something. But obviously over the laps, it just made that gap a bit bigger. Obviously, he did close down when he set his personal bests. But yeah, Lorenzo did change his tyre on the start grid. He opted for the soft rear and the medium front. Rossi had the hard front and the medium rear, and saying that maybe the soft rear was the way to go. But you know, it's the first race of the season, the first race on the new tyres and the ECUs. But yeah, the next race is at Argentina. We all know what happened there last year. So that's going to be another good race, I think. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you!